This precast cellar entryway is really the only way to go. One of the big advantages we've gotten in this new space is clearance, height. The ceiling height is going to be over 8 feet, even though the slab is not in place yet, which will bring us up another 4 inches. Now look over here. This is the kitchen area, and we've got a 16-foot span, which means that we're doing it with single 2x12 joists from one side of the foundation to the other. Where the house gets wider, you can't span the whole width, the new width, which is over 20 feet. So you got to break it down the middle with this carrying beam. And we're holding it temporarily in place with our wall jacks, which are basically a pipe tool that we used for lifting sidewalls when we build the walls on the decks. Eventually, we'll locate lally columns filled with concrete every 8 feet along the length of this beam to carry that weight down to the slab. Let's check in with Tommy a minute. This is really looking very, very good. You guys are flying.
Oh, thanks, Bob. It's coming along good, yeah.
Now tell me about this beam.
This is a glue laminated beam, a wood beam, and here's a piece of it here.
It's basically made up of 2x4s.
Right.
Yeah.
Fir 2x4s, and they make the grain opposing for strength.
Yeah.
And then when they build it, they put a crown in the beam, and that's a curve. So, and the crown goes up. So when we build it with the crown up. The floor load then straightens that beam out to its maximum strength.
So that you end up with a perfectly level beam and a level floor.
That's correct.
Well, what I really like about the system is that you don't lower the ceiling height down here in the basement by having a beam under the joists.
Right, you're right. You could have it down, but we're building it in with hangers and everything.
In the old construction
days,
over here.
Yeah, this is the way they did it the old ways, but this wouldn't even pass code today. This beam is way undersized.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would have to be like wider and lower, and you'd even eliminate more headroom.
Right.
And over here, we would have to have a beam twice this size.
Sure.
Over here.
To carry the span.
That's right.
What about using steel, though? Isn't steel cheaper than a glue lamp?
Well, steel is a little bit cheaper, yeah, to buy it, but by the time we finished with making the steel able to hold, you know, we'd have to take wood and put it in between the steel, drill it, bolt it to hold the timber hangers.
Yeah.
That would hold the floor joist.
So making the transition.
The labor is more than it would be to buy the beam.
And so it's a false economy to do it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand. Well, what you're doing to each one of these joists is to really marry it to the beam with the joist hangers, right?
That's right. Steel joist hangers create a shelf, and they tie everything together. They tie the floor joist to the wood beam. We use these nails here to tie it together.
Yeah, again, the old-timers didn't use joist hangers, and very often what they did was they'd take the end of the joist and notch off half of it and let it into the beam.
That's right. That would make the standard floor joist, say a 2x8, that would downsize it to probably a 2x6.
Right.
And the strength of it would be weakened.
Yeah. So these joist hangers will make sure that there's no lateral motion either, so we won't end up having any squeaky floors down the line.
No squeaky floors and nice, straight, true job.
Great job. I'd love to stay down here and give you a hand, but I promised Mary Van that I'd help her take down that old ceiling up there.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
I really would rather stay down here, but anyway, I'll see you in a bit.
Okay, Bob.